I always enjoy this meeting. It's the only time I get to use the gavel. So it is 7 p.m. and I would like to call this meeting to order. And good evening, everyone. It is the 169th annual town meeting for Maine Township. And at this time, I would like everyone to rise, and I would call the Park Ridge Boy Scout Troop number 1 to present the colors and lead us in the pledge of allegiance.
Please remove all non-religious headgear and prepare for the posting of the colors. Color guard, attention. Color guard, forward march. Color guard, halt. Cross the colors. Prepare to post the colors. Salute. Post. Will you now join me in the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Will you now join me with the Scout Oath and Law? On my honor, I will do my best to do my duty to God and my country, to obey the Scout Law, to help other people at all times, to keep myself physically strong, mentally awake, and morally straight. A Scout is trustworthy, loyal, helpful, friendly, courteous, kind, obedient, cheerful, thrifty, brave, clean, and reverent. 2. Return rank. Color guard, about, face, forward march. Color guard, hold. Color guard is dismissed with our thanks. Audience at ease.
Stop this over there.
Thank you, gentlemen. Wonderful job as always. The purpose of this meeting is to inform the electorate of our township's financial status and to act upon certain resolutions to be presented at this meeting. First, I would like to introduce my most efficient staff. My deputy clerks, Rosalind Lubrick. Hey, Rosalind. Back over there. Kathy Peterson. And deputy clerk, Aisha Tisch. These employees are responsible for making my office operate so smoothly, and I thank them for their service. I'm proud to announce that in the 2017-2018 fiscal year, our office processed 3,123 passport applications and 11,347 Cook County vehicle stickers. Once again, proving how hard my staff works on a daily basis. Again, thank you all. Now I'd like to introduce your elected officials, starting with our trustees, the Honorable Kimberly Jones, the Honorable David Carabota, the Honorable Claire McKenzie, oh, she's running a little late. Yeah. We'll wait for her when she comes in. And the Honorable Susan Sweet. Our Highway Commissioner, the Honorable Walter Kazmierczyk. And our Assessor, the Honorable Susan Moylan-Fry. And last but certainly not least, our Supervisor, the Honorable Laura Horace.
Just one.
Oh, she's coming in. Now let's go stop.
She doesn't know.
We won't let her sneak in. We also have a couple other honorable guests in our presence. We have.
Now you can.
Oh, there she is. We also have with us the former collector of Maine Township, the Honorable Audrey DeCurvis. Des Plaines, the Honorable Dick Syed. The first order of business is the selection of a moderator. I recognize the Honorable Trustee Kimberly Jones for the purpose of making the nomination.
It is my distinct pleasure tonight to nominate the Honorable Dick Syed, the Des Plaines Alderman, for the moderator of our annual town meeting.
I second.
First and a second. I will ask, are there any other nominations? Are there any other nominations? Make a motion to close the nominations.
I move. Second.
Second, all right. All in favor, raise your cards. Okay. Our moderator will be Des Plaines Alderman and my friend, the Honorable Dick Syed. I'll swear you in. I, Dick Syed,
I, Dick Syed,
do solemnly swear that I will faithfully and impartially
I will faithfully and impartially,
discharge the duties of moderator at this town meeting,
as duties of moderator at this town meeting,
so help me God.
so help me God.
Thank you.
Well, I was wondering if I'm going to be nervous when I get up here, and I am. So bear with me. I think I'm very honored to be the moderator here in Maine Township. It's a great honor, and I thank you for that. Mr. Gialamas has called the meeting to order here, and the next thing we have here will be we're right here. Moderator, please sworn in. I got that. Okay. Reading what's going on here. Okay, next thing, I'm asking Mr. Gialamas to present the minutes of the 2018 annual town meeting.
So first we're going to do the parliamentary.
All right, see where
Number 8.
8.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry. Please forgive me. We're going to have the appointment of the parliamentarian for Maine Township attorney.
That's our attorney. That's Carrie Lynn Crabtrapper.
Harry Lynn.
Yes.
All in favor, raise your card.
We need a motion.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry. Motion by President.
Second.
Pointer.
Second.
By trustee. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Okay, we have here Mr. Gialamas. Will you please present the minutes of the 2018 annual town meeting?
The 2018 annual town meeting minutes have been distributed prior to this meeting. I ask that the minutes of the meeting be waived, the minutes be approved as submitted.
Second.
Okay, is there a motion? Second.
Second.
All in favor? Raise your cards. All in favor? Any opposed? Motion carries. Next thing we have here will be we are going to, were there any special board meetings held during that past year?
Yes, we had 8 special meetings. Special meetings held in the fiscal year 2018-2019 were on March 15th, April 17th, May 8th, May 15th, July 10th, August 6th, August 16th, and December 18th.
Mr. Gialamas, the annual financial report for that general town fund, general assistance fund, and for roads and bridges funds were distributed to the annual town meeting for the annual town meeting.
Yes, the annual financial reports were distributed before the annual town meeting.
Okay, I'm going to ask Supervisor Morass to give the annual report and introduce the township staff.
Thank you, moderator. I think I have it very well. Testing, testing. Good evening. My name is Lauren Marask, and I'm your Maine Township Supervisor. I'm pleased to welcome you to the 169th Annual Town Meeting. I would like to highlight some of the accomplishments and achievements from this past year, as well as introduce my fabulous staff. And although we have had some trying and challenging times, I'm proud of everything we've accomplished and of the quality of programs and services that our dedicated staff works diligently to provide, as well as the dedication and commitment of our town board. At the helm, we have our administrator and department heads who have led all of our departments with confidence and united vision to provide high-quality programs and services with a focus on using your taxpayer dollars wisely. I'd like to acknowledge my administrative team, without whom nothing else could be accomplished. First off, my assistant, Doreen Burke. Please stand. Doreen Burke not only provides for myself and fellow board members, she goes above and beyond the call of duty to assist our residents. She never hesitates to take on projects, and she always steps in to help out the rest of the administrative team. And she has become an expert in so many things over the years that I look to her for things in FOIA, for RFPs, for research, and our residents similarly look to her for answers. She's our first line of Tracy, who I'll get to in a minute. But Doreen is always ready, willing, and available to help any resident. Next is my administrator, Dana Berman. Can you please rise? Dana is responsible for the day-to-day operation of the township. She supervises programs, department heads, and all administrative support staff. She creates the town fund, the GA budget, the levy, and other financials, forecasting our revenues and expenditures with an emphasis on fiscal responsibility. She also sits on several committees, such as agency funding hearings, garage sale, and the Riley Bialchik Scholarship Fund Committee. Most recently, during a transition period in one of our departments, Dana offered her assistance to aid in managing the staff and did a great job in helping to keep the environment consistent and harmonious. One of Dana's biggest achievements this year, and the board's biggest achievements, was a complete rewrite of our personnel policy manual to include the most up-to-date laws, policies, and procedures. This had not been updated in over 10 years. So that was a huge undertaking. That was done at the direction of Dana Berman. Our administrative assistant / deputy administrator, Victoria Rizzo, would you please, has continued to streamline and enhance our procurement process. Basically what that means is that she has saved the township hundreds of thousands of dollars in the manner in which we now order supplies. This is a huge thing. You wouldn't think one ripple has such an effect. It does. And so she is always the one that's dealing with our companies and saying, okay, last year's contract was, pick a figure, $4,000. Can you do it for $3,600? So she tries, and the people say, yes, we want your business, we'll do that. So Vicki has really saved and has established relationships with our vendors, as well as all the personnel, and has become also, unfortunately for Vicki, a de facto IT person. I want to tell you all, she is not the IT person. Don't call poor Vicki for IT. But anyways, Vicki has made sure that our staff has all the equipment necessary for them to do their jobs. Denise Jacob, I didn't see, is Denise here? There she is. And our new assistant, Dorothy Moran, is she here? Dorothy was unable to be here. Okay. So Denise is our bookkeeper, who along with her assistant Dorothy and Vicki handle the township finances, and they keep all of our accounts in order. This is a huge undertaking. This includes financial records, payroll, filings, required filings, and much, much more, along with participating in every single one of our budget meetings, which have been numerous. Tracy Cummings, can you stand? I'm very proud of Tracy, our receptionist, because we are possibly the only municipality, maybe not, who answers the phone in person. And that you get an actual live human being on the other end. You don't have to push star, followed by 9, followed by 2, followed by some miraculous combination thereof, and start over at the beginning. Tracy answers the phone with a smile in her voice and is always willing to help the person on the other end. And we couldn't be prouder that our township has an actual human being at the other end of the phone. We also are so dedicated to that when she goes on lunch, we have someone fill it, which is usually Carol Langen, Doreen, Dana, we have a lot of fill-ins, so it is something very important to us. There's a new enforcement officer in town on the administrative staff, and his name is Nadir Gazalat. Nadir has taken to his role as code enforcement officer with enthusiasm, energy, and a renewed commitment to helping clean up our streets by helping everyone adhere to our ordinances. Our maintenance department, under the leadership of Director Foreman Michael Saman, who I teasingly yelled at twice in the last 2 days, so I apologize. I didn't mean it. Has transformed Town Hall. Mikey is, I'm sorry, we shouldn't call it man, but that's what we call it. He has transformed Town Hall. He's created new efficiencies and procedures. In his short reign as boss, he figured out ingenious low-cost solutions to a mold issue that we had diagnosed late last year. Along with Nader, revamping our gutters to alleviate water flow. Contracted with remediations company to get us fixed, and is on the verge of overseeing 2 of our capital fund projects in the next month. With his staff, Jessica Fox and Stefan Batista, the building is well managed and much needed repairs are taking place. I'd also like to point out that they are operating one now, that they are doing the entire building, twice a day, plus all these other jobs with one less person that was never filled. We made a commitment last year to renewed commitment to saving our taxpayers' dollars and consolidating positions and whatnot, and so that is a direct result of Mike's can-do attitude. I keep telling him that he shouldn't have to do everything, but he wants to do everything, so there you go. So can all the people in admin, Jesse, where are you? And Stephen, where are you? Okay, now, so I got everybody in admin, right? Didn't forget anybody in admin. Okay, good. Assessor's office. Our assessor's office continues to administer the rules and regulations of the office and the statutes of the Cook County Assessor. The office assisted over 15,062 residents, which included the processing of homeowners, senior freeze, disabled persons, and disabled veterans exemptions. A total of 1,969 appeals were processed for 2018 to both the Cook County Assessor and the Cook County Board of Review. They continue to hold outreach seminars for both the Assessor and the Board of Review. This year, they processed 5,846 building permits, which were submitted to the Cook County Assessor's Office to ensure that tax revenue is captured and placed onto the roll. This is a 19% increase over previous years. They assisted 387 residents in completing 799 applications for certificate of error paperwork, allowing for a refund for missed exemptions in the total amount of $653,000. This is approximately a 5% increase over last year. This money was returned to Maine Township residents. 141 name address change applications were completed for residents to ensure that their name appears correctly on their property tax bill, which they probably would rather it doesn't. They continue to assist senior citizens, completing the Senior Citizen Real Estate Tax Deferral Program that's offered to the treasurer. Something new this year that Susie did was, our assessor Craig, was to host a very successful property after death workshop. Over 120 residents turned out to learn how to save thousands of dollars on transferring their home without a will or a trust. Susie, can you introduce your assessor's department?
Thank you, Madam Supervisor. I sure can. I just want to add on to what our supervisor had said. A lot of communication and a lot of customer service through all the government offices, they're going by the wayside, but not in our office, because my staff is not just dedicated, they're caring. I mean, they're not just dedicated to me, they're caring people to our township residents. And when they come into our office, they get the utmost care and service. We listen to them, we talk to them, they come in frightened, they leave relieved. And it's because of the people that I work with. And not only do they help residents, they help the other staff members in our office. We have other staff come in, need help with something. We all work together, and actually they come and help us too. Because if there's a language barrier, we have those people that are willing to help us. And I know, you're all here. You're all here. And I'd like to introduce my first person, my Chief Deputy Assessor, Elizabeth Boyd. My Deputy Assessor, Deborah Babbitt. My Deputy Assessor, Ferris Nivenay. My Deputy Assessor, Dee Phillips. Thank you for doing such a good job.
Thank you.
Thank you, Susie, and thank you to the Assessor's Department. So now, Pete stole my thunder on this one, but our clerk's office, I mean, he's allowed it, he's the clerk. Our clerk's office processed 11 voter registrations, 11,347 Cook County vehicle stickers, 37 handicap parking cards, 139 hunting and fishing licenses, 340 RTA passes, and 3,123 passport applications. They processed 1,502 mainline tickets, 2,140 Republic Refuse Yard waste tags, and 188 notary public requests. Chief Deputy Clerk Leisha Tyko handled 58 unique FOIA requests within the shortest amount of time possible. And many of those FOIA requests involve a lot of research and additional documents. She also took on additional responsibilities handling all internal and external document requests, all while servicing an increased number of residents. While the clerk's office did reduce their budgeted and actual expenses, I don't know if he did this, but so I like the clerk's department. Leisha, you can introduce your department. That would be your
right ahead.
One of you do it.
He already did it, but here the Deputy Clerk Annette Galanti. Please come down. Raz Lubridge. And Kathy Fredrickson.
All right, this department I left off last year. So, they're getting a little bit longer this year. It was totally inadvertent. Mainstay Psychiatry Program, offered in partnership with the Jocelyn Center, and we are one of the first of our kind to do this. Has allowed Maine Township to fill the void that was left by the closing of Maine Center in 2015 in the most cost-effective manner possible, leveraging the time and talents of existing employees in connection with the psychiatrist that Jocelyn provides us. In April 2018, the psychiatric services expanded to include children and adolescents, which help provide greater access for intervention and treatment for local youth in need. Mainstay's Future Leaders Peer Mentoring Program, which is run by Ann Camarino, expanded to 3 locations in 2018 and now serves students at Lincoln Middle School in 64, South Elementary School in District 62. These 2 new partnership opportunities have allowed Mainstay to triple its impact and reach more youth in need without spending any additional funds. Through Mainstay's Restorative Justice Initiatives, 1,358 hours of community service have been completed. Community education and professional development events have reached 865 attendees. Mainstay provided 10,168 contact hours to residents, which included counseling, psychiatric services, clinical groups, ongoing programs for at-risk youth, community education seminars, and professional development workshops. And last but not least, Mainstay's email contact list has grown in 10 years, from reaching out to 247 people to now being over 3,700 people. I would like everybody in the Mainstay department to please rise. And Red, would you introduce your department since your boss is videotaping?
Sure. My name is Anna Litka. I'm the assistant director, and this is the rest of our staff. We have Ann Camarano, Christina Christie, Jesse Cornejo, Naomi Bowman, and Veronica Mock.
Thank you to all of Mainstay and the great work that you guys have been doing. The Mainstreamers Department, led by Marie Deshowski, continues to provide township residents with innovative recreational and social programs, educational and informative lectures, computer classes, fitness classes, outings, and fun-filled memorable events for seniors 55 years of age and older. In 2018, we welcomed 373 new members. Throughout the year, they had 2,374 reservations for their 45-day trips, featuring theaters, baseball outings, boat rides, walking tours, museums, along with 2 overnight trips to Galena and the Osthoff Resort in Wisconsin. The seniors hosted 6 luncheons, a holiday party, and a New Year's Eve party for a combined 1,100 reservations, as well as a few special events such as Cinco de Mayo party, a private theater performance at the Oil Land Theater, and, quote, Put the Nuns in Charge, a religious comedy show which over 200 members enjoyed. The Mainstreamers continue to host 2 of the township's most popular events in the township. The first is the 90-plus birthday celebration, which is one of my all-time favorite things. This year we had 136 residents who reached the golden age of 90 or older, who celebrated with lunch at Chateau Ritz. Then they are responsible for the biggest, it's probably the biggest in the state, Swing into Spring Expo, which is held at the Golf Mill Shopping Center. And this continues to be one of the premier events and one of the largest community events, connecting seniors of all ages with services that companies create to fill a need for the seniors. We have over 75 vendors and 1,200 township residents. And Maria's made it a focus of her tenure as director to obtain new sponsorships, which has been a huge success in reaching out to obtain sponsors along with the rest of her department. The Mainstreamers continue welcoming new members and adding programs enhancing senior lives in the community. In fact, they are so famous that an Australian Twitter blog, I can't get enough of this stuff, featured us in a post lauding the 90-plus party, which was followed by more than, it's up to 1,500 followers. So somewhere 1,500 followers in Australia love the Mainstream. But he was here with this post in front of the Mainstream, in front of the sign. So it's actually not just in Australia, it's being followed across the country, which I think is great. So, Marie, can you stand up and introduce the rest of your department?
Well, first of all, I just want to say it's an honor to be part of this department. These guys are awesome, and I feel so lucky. So my assistant director, Therese Tully. My program coordinator, Monica Jevaseva. Sana Bukacek, program coordinator.
All right, Maine Township Recovery Connection is one of our proudest achievements. They continue to grow with weekly meeting attendance, a total of 2,141 this year. And I remember when they started and we had like 18. This needed service addresses recovering alcoholic and drug addicts between ages 18 and 32. Looking for a safe and drug-free way to get to social life. To this end, they've created Friday night pre-meeting yoga that has 469 attendees. They created the first dual diagnosis program where we partnered with Chicago Behavioral Health, shouldering the cost. That had 165 attendees. We plan to start that back up, I believe in May. They created the Saturday CrossFit program, attracting 430, as the theory being that a healthy body helps recovery. They have created partnerships with Maryville, Gateway, and Maine East to create sober volleyball with 371 participants. A new program added this year was sober bowling with 61 attendees. They maintain an extensive phone and email list, which grew by 24% to a total of 368. Besides the Friday evening meetings, they have sponsored different events and have procured a total of 19 jobs for unemployed recovering addicts. And Director Marty Cook, who could not be here, as he and Nick are speaking actually at an event in Florida, wrote an article on maintaining sobriety over the holidays, which was featured on the front page of the Daily Herald. And he and Nick Keneal, who is the other full-time person, were featured guests on WBEZ Radio's morning program. So we do have our newest hire, who replaced Jonathan King, who was the administrative financial analyst. So if senior moment, I need come join Terry Donnelly? Oh, wonderful. So you want to introduce your department? So Terry Donnelly is our newest member and has done a bang-up job and is here representing the department. And please forgive me for trying to the General Assistance Department assisted 5,104 township residents as they interviewed or applied for the many programs GA administers. They were able to provide assistance including senior, disabled, and veterans advocacy, along with the state-mandated general assistance. They also assisted residents who qualified for state and federal programs such as LIHEAP, benefit access, and special referrals to the Social Security Administration for disabled individuals. LIHEAP, we are a Tier 1 facility, which means that it's a premier facility. And you have to maintain a very, very low level of denials. We're a very, very popular intake center for our LIHEAP, and we just finished, Austin Kelso just finished the application for TCETA for the upcoming year. Our popular coast-to-coast pharmaceutical assistance program continues saving residents on prescription prices. Over the last year, 4,397 prescriptions, saving residents 69% and a total dollar net value savings of $238,720 was realized by residents. And the township received $4,029 in royalty payments. This is a win-win program for all. It does not cost the taxpayer anything. So I would like the acting director, Austin Kelso, to stand up and introduce the document. And the rest of your department stand up.
Gladly. And we'll start with our Assistant Director, Kathy Sabini. Our caseworker, Luz Manessis. Our Senior and Disability Advocate, Karen Cohen. Our Senior and Disability Specialist, John Order.
Thank you. Nope. You forgot somebody. I know it. You're on with you. That would be Alicia Brzezinski.
Thank you,
runs the deal.
Thanks, Austin.
Okay, sorry. All right. The Maine Township Food Pantry assisted 2,359 families this past fiscal year, which is an increase of 279 residents or families. Thanks to the generosity of the community and the local jewel, we were again able to provide turkeys and hams for Thanksgiving and Christmas. The director, Carol Langen, again partnered with Mariano's and the Parkridge Police Department called Stuff the Squad, collecting food for our needy residents. She partnered with the Vine Street Barbecue Committee and received a very generous donation of $8,000. In October, she participated in the annual crop walk, and in December, she participated with Oakton Community College in the annual Empty Bowls program. Carol Langen. Just so you know, that is a huge increase in the amount of emergency foods that we have given out, which is again a win-win. And Carol Langen has been assisted previously some hours a week by Nick, and now in his new job, Terry, who I keep calling Teddy for some other reason, will also be assisting. Terry, thank you. Code enforcement. I think I mentioned earlier, but our new code enforcement, Nader Gazalat, who started May 9th, gave out 529 warnings for vehicle violations, property maintenance violations, garbage issues, and parking violations. A total of 145 tickets were eventually issued. Total revenue received was $14,225, which I believe a large portion of that. Nader, will you take a stand up? So everybody. A large portion of that was the fine, right, for Aqua? Yeah. Okay, so just want you to know that your community is very well represented by Nader, because he goes after, you know, the company that should be going out. I mean, Aqua has been a partner. They fell behind, and so we recouped that money. This is an important step, what Nader does in the community, in keeping the unincorporated area clean and debris-free. He attends all neighborhood watch community meetings as a community liaison. He does daily tours of the areas to remove unsightly garbage. He works hand in hand with Republic, the Highway Department, the Township Attorney, and the community. Now, OEM is in the process of being restructured, and as with everything, we're taking a keen eye to looking at a needs assessment and figuring out the best way forward. Our previous director, Dagmar Rudson, retired last year. We have an acting director, John Bennett, if you want to stand. We got our volunteers back up and running. We restarted the radio station, which is another of my favorite things, as we can disseminate needed emergency info in a timely fashion. At Taste of Park Ridge last year, OEM taught CPR and life-saving skills to hundreds of residents. While speaking of staff, I do have some special recognitions. This year, I would like to give special recognition pins to, first of all, John Heyman was unable to be here. We're celebrating, John is celebrating 10 years of service, so at the hopes that you'll watch this tape, if everybody could clap for her. I'll take the pin for her while I will take the pin. So now, can I have Victoria Rizzo and Mike Simone both come up? It is my distinct pleasure, poor Vicki had to make her own, to award you your 15 years with the township, and you your 15 years with the township. Okay, sure. Great. Thank you for all the years of service. And I've been here all those years. Okay. And finally, can I have Kathy Sabine? She not only gets a pen, she gets a certificate. Because Kathy Sabine has had 20 years of service. Thank you very much. Good? Thank you, Kathy. So now we're going to share some really quick highlights from the year in review. In April, Mainstreamers hosted another successful senior expo featuring entertainment, health screenings, and information. So that's coming up, and I hope to see you all there. It really is a fabulous event. April 20th, right? 25th. What? 25th. 25th. Last year was it 20th. Also, in last year, we had Agency Day, which was a huge success in April. During the year, mainstay, as I already stated, expanded. One of our notable achievements was to expand psychiatric services to children and adolescents, and we converted our entire system to accommodate the change in Medicare and Medicaid, which was a very big change. Our board worked diligently to hire legal counsel, and her team of lawyers, including Kurt Asprey, who help us chair our meetings and help us find our way. We adopted, our board adopted policies, amongst other things, to enhance transparency, reduce legal costs, and we voted last month to lower a portion of the property tax levy. The township adopted a very streamlined budget with realized cost savings from the previous year. One thing we did this past year that I was very proud of, because I think it's turned out to be a really good thing, is the capital fund. We established a capital fund to make some much needed improvements to the building and the township so that we can better serve our residents. And I forgot to mention that Mike's also in charge of, basically, we'll be overseeing, he already did one program, he'll be starting 2 more that we're doing the painting of the entire building and the parking lot in the next month. We talked about Senior Expo. Oh, last May we also had our Senior 90 Plus birthday party, which was an unmitigated success. In June, we had our free document shredding event that was coordinated and run by Doreen Program here at the township, which was an enormous success, and it is a safe way to dispose of old documents. During the summer, our mainstay camp encouraged fun and provided supportive and structured environment where children can improve their social skills while being exposed to new activities that they may not otherwise be able to experience. In July, we were a major participant in the annual and popular Taste of Park Ridge, where we hosted Senior Bingo and the Senior Movie at the Pickwick. OEM demonstrated life-saving techniques to the capacity crowd and handled traffic control. And we also sponsored the very popular beer tent on Friday night. In August, we partnered with the Gulf Maine Park District to host National Night Owl, led by Clerk Gialamas. And a wonderful night had been planned by the committee. Unfortunately, the event last year had to be canceled due to really bad weather. But we were still able to host the poster contest, and if you have not seen these submissions, they're fantastic. So hopefully you'll all come out for National Night Out this August, and it's always the first Tuesday in August, and hopefully it won't flood. September and October saw the board do a tremendous job in agency funding hearings, which were voted on in December, and we funded 25 very worthy social service agencies that had to meet strict objective criteria. That program is run by Chris Christie, who oversees the applications and the on-site interviews. We host a student government day. I gotta talk about student government. This is where high schoolers learn about government through hands-on program where they actually reenact the agency funding process, and they learn how government and nonprofits work together to benefit the community. This is my favorite program. The kids of our township and our country are simply incredible. They sit up here as board members. There's a Lord Morass, there's a Pete Gialamas, there's a Susan Sweeney, there's a David Boda, there's a Kim Jones, there's a Claire McKenzie, and they also then have, students who present as the agency. And they ask questions, and these questions are unbelievable. And you're not gonna, I mean, believe it or not, 2 years in a row, they have come up with the same number, give or take, that our board has come up with. So it really is like an incredible, and they take it really seriously, which I just think is an amazing thing to watch if any of you ever get a chance. In September, we had a huge fire that devastated our neighbors at the nearby Landers condo complex. Our township team made a huge effort to support our residents during this trying time. OEM was out there helping the fire department direct traffic. We also took calls, we distributed food, we worked we had people donate us white personal essentials, white goods, and furniture. We were a donation collection site, and we also assisted with temporary housing. In November, we took a precaution against attempts to reestablish the sweet beverage tax by putting a referendum on the ballot. September saw another successful garage sale that benefited our food pantry and summer camp. October, we were honored as Partner of the Decade by the Center of Concern. We also were sponsors of an electronics and document destruction event in Park Ridge. Over the holidays, the community stepped up to the plate, and following a call, we did an all-call for donations for the food pantry. The lights are turning off, which means it's time for me to stop talking. It's like we're at the Oscars. The response was overwhelming and greatly appreciated. And also in November, the township brought home several awards, 3 awards at the Toy Springfield Conference. Best Township Program, Best Township Director of the program, which was Rich Lyons, and an award for one of our dedicated volunteers. We also were one of the few we were a township that responded to the U.S. government shutdown. We had people calling us to get emergency food, and Karen Cohen took those we worked with people to help that situation out. With respect to retirements, we said goodbye to several staff this year. Marshall Warnick retired on November 30th after 37 years of service. Dave Ganuchek retired on April 17th after 17 years of service. Dagmar Rutsen retired on December 3rd after 6 years of service. And they are all enjoying a much-deserved retirement. Promotions. Mike Saman was promoted from interim maintenance director to maintenance director. Okay. Congratulations. In closing, we have completed another successful year, helping our residents in the best way possible. Ironically, the same week that another in my opinion, short-sighted bill wended its way through the legislature, using a cookie-cutter approach to potential elimination of townships, we are having a meeting that shows you that we really are the government closest to the people. There is no red tape. You call a phone and a person answers that phone. You have a problem with the garbage and you call or email and either me, Doreen, anybody, and we get Mike and Nader to go and pick it up. Or, and make the long-term solution with our garbage provider, Republic Services. You need an expedited passport? No problem. You come see the Asia. You don't have to make a trip to this city and spend the gas for, doing it. You come here and our staff does it for you. At this meeting, you are the electors. You vote, if I ever give you a chance. Do you do that at the state legislature? Are you having a family crisis or emergency like laid off or health issue or government shutdown? Our food pantry will give you food. If you're trying to navigate your way through a maze of Medicare, Part D, or disability, our GA senior advocates with a phone call appointment can get you answers or figure out what other assistance you might qualify. In short, we find an answer for you. But for some reason, some people are very focused on doing away with township. So we do all this for the lowest portion of your tax bill of any municipality, and I hope to keep it that way. I'm proud to be a part of a township, and I hope that townships stay in existence. This is one of my favorite meetings. Not because I get to talk a lot, it helps. But seriously, thank you to everybody in the room and to who works here. I really appreciate all your help. You've been great over this year. And thank you to the board for tackling such serious and challenging issues. Everybody's done a tremendous job.
I gotta say, for the budget that you have, I don't know, it's like 3.8 million. You guys do a tremendous amount, and you should be happy and applaud your staff, your employees here. You guys do a great job, man. Honestly, God, I'm just amazed how wonderful. Well, not amazed. I know you did a great job, but I don't know it was this wonderful and how you explained everything. My hat's off to every one of you. You guys are really great, but the key word that was said for this whole speech was one key word: care. You care. And that's the key thing. Once you care, everything goes into place and you work hard. So my hat's off to all of you. God bless you, man. You're unbelievable. Okay, at this time I'm asking Clerk PG allow us to present the Sergeant Karen Ladder Memorial Good Citizens Award.
Goes up this high. In 2011, Maine Township proudly instituted the Sergeant Karen Lader Memorial Good Citizens Award. Sergeant Lader was a resident of Des Plaines and a 15-year veteran of the Cook County Sheriff's Police who lost her courageous battle with cancer in 2010. Deeply involved with Maine Township residents, especially in the Neighborhood Watch program, she was also active in our successful National Night Out Against Crime event held each August. She also worked on Special Olympics and was an advocate of animal rescue. I am honored that I had the opportunity to work alongside Sergeant Lader and had the privilege to call her a friend. In 2019, I am pleased to announce that our award recipient is none other than Maine Township's own Robert Brzezinski. I would like to quote Don Heyman, who is one of the two people who nominated Bob for this award. Her quote is, "Director Brzezinski devoted 35 years of his life keeping unincorporated Maine Township streets safe. He was the first man out assessing road conditions when it rained or snowed. The unincorporated streets have a long-standing reputation for being the best maintained streets within the township. Bob was called out at all hours of the day and night, whether there was a water main break or some other emergency situation. Director Brzezinski was often the first person to be called by the fire, police, sheriff, or other township departments. He would always stay until the job was done, even if it was on his own time. His knowledge and skills kept numerous residents safe when weather conditions were at their most treacherous. Director Brzezinski was a dependable resource for a wide variety of problems that homeowners face regarding their properties." End quote. Bob was also quite the family man. He was married to his lovely wife Angela for 29 years. He was the proud father of two wonderful kids, Michael and Alicia, as well as a grandfather of Juliana. Bob wasn't one to shine the spotlight on himself. In fact, I had no idea until today that he used to help his old boss and friend, Robert Provenzano, decorate the church at the Shrine of Our Lady of Pompeii for different holidays. He was always a great help to me personally with the setup and breakdown of our National Night Out Against Crime event. He always told me to feel free to reach out to him if I needed anything, and I did on several occasions. Unfortunately, being a good neighbor and citizen wasn't the only thing that Robert Brzezinski had in common with Sergeant Karen Lader. Just like her, Bob was taken from us far too early after a courageous battle with cancer. If you were at his wake or funeral, it was easy to see the impact he had on so very many people. So it is my great pleasure to present Bob's family with the 2019 Sergeant Kara Lader Good Citizens Award on behalf of our beloved employee, Robert Brzezinski.
Thank you, guys.
Great guy.
Yes.
We all miss him.
So do I. Thank you. Thank you. Thanks to everybody.
Thank you, guys.
If I may put my 2 cents in, I know Bob Brzezinski for a long time. It was my honor to know him, and whenever I had a situation in Maine Township, and I called and he came out, and he handled it like a professional. He's someone that we're really going to miss. He was just a great individual, and I think the award to him is well deserved. Next, I will ask Supervisor Barras to make a presentation, a resolution for the approval of the electors.
Okay, so with respect to Resolution 2019-2, I'm going to withdraw that one. That is the one that establishes the township fiscal year. There's no need to adopt this resolution because the township has already established its fiscal year. So, we are going to withdraw that. Can I have a motion? Do I need a motion to withdraw or can I just withdraw it?
I have to make a motion to
Okay.
withdraw.
All right, will somebody make that? I'm making a motion.
I get a motion by
Somebody
Alderman,
second
by Supervisor Barras,
it.
second.
Kim seconded it.
Kim second. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries.
Now, we're going to number 219-3 to be 219-2. And I am going to make a motion to pass Resolution 219-2, where it is hereby resolved and ordered that by the electors present at the annual town meeting of Maine Township held this 9th day of April 2019, that the next Maine Township annual town meeting shall be held on Tuesday, April 14th at 2020 at 7 p.m. at the Maine Township Town Hall, 1700 Bellwood Road, Park Ridge, Illinois. And any sense. And Wayne certainly has seconded it. Moderator.
Yes. Mr. Server, you second it? All in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you. And so now I'm going to make a motion that was previously 2019-4, which is now 3. That it is hereby resolved and ordered by the electors present at the annual town meeting of Maine Township held this 9th day of April 2019, that the moderator of this meeting be compensated for his or her services in the amount of $75. And seconded by Wayne Servin over there.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say no. With this check, of course, I'm going to turn it back to the Maine Township for your self-help pantry as a donation.
Thank you.
But also, I have a little more for the pantry. I have a check for $5,000.
That's okay. Jeez. I can't believe it. Somebody.
Oh, I'm sorry, it's 500. I always
Well, she's a director.
Well, yeah, usually in the middle.
Okay, good.
All right, we'll just grab the check and
It's because it says St. Louis Cardinals on it.
You get it?
I don't know why.
All right, thank you.
Thank
That's from the Displays Community Foundation, which I'm a board member. Last year we gave 2,500, and this year we had a lot. We were blessed to have more funds, and we chose that you be getting a little extra because we know you spend the money very well. Congratulations.
Wow. Okay. Whoa. You really know how to flourish. Your turn.
Okay, now we have, is any announcements for the business of the meeting that is now being conducted? Any business announcements? None? Okay. And now we go to the public comments. Go ahead. Sure.
Okay, I just have a few comments.
You want to come up to the podium?
You want to go by,
Just so we can hear you and we can say your name.
I'll try not to be too long, although I think what I have to say is important. My name is John Barstaitis. I've been a resident of Maine Township for most of my life, although I've never been to a Maine Township board meeting. I'd like to thank all the board members for the service that they're making to the community by serving as board members, and thank them for the sacrifices in their personal life that you are encouraged to do so. I'm here as a volunteer at Ballard Point Condominium Association, which is just about half a block to the east of here on the south side of Ballard, with about 504 units. I just have a couple of questions about the flooding issue there, and I just have a couple of introductory remarks. I mean, I think that most people are aware of the flooding problems in this area. I know at our community, when the creek floods, the water gets more than knee-high. It gets impossible to drive into our community. It gets impossible for people to leave. So basically, when we're flooding, people cannot drive in, people cannot drive out. I think ambulances would have trouble. When we're flooding, cars get ruined. It gets, in the low areas, it gets above the floor level of cars, so it gets in cars. It's high enough so that the computers in cars and their engines are destroyed. We have comparatively new cars they cannot fix when we're flooding there. I think, again, as most of you know, the Metropolitan Water Reclamation District came up with a proposal around 2014. Or at least that's the date on all their engineering reports. This plan, my understanding is it's going to be about $20 million, and this is going to solve the flooding in Prairie Creek and Farmers Creek. And as I said, just a point that I think is very important is that we, as an association, we cannot solve this by ourselves. I would just like to repeat this again. We simply, we need governmental help on this. This is not something which we are able to do ourselves. I think this is, if anything, is a proper governmental function. This is, I know that this will cost some money for the township. I cannot think of any money that would be better spent than spending money so that this plan can be implemented. I know everybody wants to keep tax rates low and does not want to increase taxes. But if it's at the price of not adopting projects such as this and pushing for them, what's the point of keeping the taxes without an increase if we have to forego projects like this, which are going to benefit just not my association, but large swaths, large numbers of people in Maine Township. So again, I would like to encourage the township to, I know that, that there are intergovernmental agreements needed, I believe, between the Water Reclamation District, the City of Park Ridge, Maine Township, and the Illinois Department of Transportation. I know that there's a lot of coordination that's involved, but I would hope that the township is proactive in pushing this, and I know that you all realize that it's a problem. I hope that you'll cooperate and maybe even take a lead among the governmental bodies on this. So I would again just close by saying what I said before, is that we as an association, we have a major problem here, and we cannot do this by ourselves. We need everybody's help. And so I would just like to hear your comments on this. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Is there any other, Mr. Servant, please come up.
Maine Township, 835 Plain and Law 6016. I noticed that several people have succumbed to cancer, and I know other people who have done it, many others. It is very important that you get physical checkups from your physician, who, if you discover this disease soon, the better you have of curing it. We have an excellent cancer care section at Ocean General Hospital. In fact, I pass by it every time I go to Northwest University to do a concert or something like that. And if you need any advice, they're going to help you. But get checked. Have your doctor give you check it. So the sooner you discover it, if you can discover it, the sooner you can cure it. And we have a wonderful cancer care center right on the road. Thank you.
If I may add, my wife is a cancer survivor for now going on 2 years, and Mr. Servant is correct. You have to go out and get yourself checked up. It's better and catch it earlier. And we were fortunate that she did do that. So you're absolutely right. Any other comments from the public? Okay, I can make some comments. I'm not going to be that long, but again, I know how to do this now. Can we start all over again? I got the hang of this here. But I just want to, I'm very impressed with your staff here, Madam Chairman, and your trustees. You guys are doing a fabulous job. You be well commended for you and what you're doing, and the services that you give out are very good and outstanding, and I see that you keep continuously growing. My hats are off to you, and I wish you nothing but the very, very best. You got a great amount of good staff here, and they care, and that's the key to the whole thing. So again, thank you very much for having me as the moderator. But I entertain a motion to adjourn. I move. Motion by Mr. Servant, seconded by second. All in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed? Thank you.